Hey everybody, Katie here. I'm in Washington in Sequim, not Sequim as I like to call it because that's how it's spelled, but for some reason it's Sequim.
Everybody calls it Sequim.
Yeah, there's an extra E in there.
Yeah, it's Sequim, Washington.
Which is like this adorable tiny town in northern Washington. It's really, really cold right now, but we're having fun. And Vicki's here from Vegas. I'm here from down in Oregon. And Lorna here lives up here, and so we just came to visit for the weekend and thought that we'd sit down and have a little chat and talk about working with selling on eBay while also doing charity work. Kind of like how you balance that and how you can integrate it into your professional life. So I'll just again introduce myself, even though some of you have probably already seen other videos. I'm Katie Zilfenberg. I have an eBay store. I sell full-time. I sell men's clothing, new and used, a lot of streetwear stuff, vintage 90s streetwear is my specialty, but I do a little bit of everything, just all men's clothing. So I will let Lorna, you want to go next?
Sure. So I'm Lorna Thompson. I sell on eBay. I've been selling for 5, almost 6 years. We're in a salon right now where I rent a space from, a little office space. And I sell a little bit of everything. Anything that I can sell legally. Mm-hmm. Anything that I can't nail down.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Awesome. Don't really have a specific niche or anything.
Cool.
So, hey, I'm Vicki. I've been selling on eBay for about 12 years, full-time for about 8. My store is LV Pink Panther. Some of you might know me as Pink Panther. I live in Vegas. And I sell a little bit of everything, men's clothes, women's clothes. I really enjoy selling antiques, collectibles, and vintage women's clothing. So I will focus on that when I can find it, but it's kind of few and far between, so I sell anything I can make money on.
Awesome. And so as far as the charity stuff goes, my background is actually in charity work. I have my degree in nonprofit management. Before I was doing eBay, I was working for Habitat for Humanity. I have years of experience volunteering and working in prison education programs, particularly college programs. So I already am very much kind of keyed into anything that has to do with like nonprofits or charities. And I kind of need that to be like somehow a part of my life. And so that's kind of where I've started to kind of expand, and what I'm doing with eBay is finding ways that I can kind of integrate that into my life. And so the reason I have these two ladies here talking about this topic is because both of them are pretty involved with charity work for different organizations. And so if you guys want to talk about like the organizations that you support and like what kind of stuff that you do, and I guess why you got into it, or why you're passionate about it, or whatever you want to say about it. So either one of you.
Sure.
Okay, so almost 15 years ago, I was involved in a pretty large mass casualty. I was in a fire, a nightclub fire, and thankfully I emerged relatively unscathed. And because of that, I became really entrenched in working with the burn community and burn survivors specifically. So I started a couple of nonprofits back east, and worked with some people in developing 2 501c3s where we raised a lot of money over an extended period of time to help people of that tragedy specifically. And when we were no longer needed in that capacity, I stopped working with that charity, but I had become so enamored with that community in general that I started working with other nonprofit organizations throughout the country that specialize or focus in burn aftercare and working with the burn community. So I work with a charity specifically called the Phoenix Society, which she's wearing one of the shirts. They are a national 501c3 based out of Detroit, Michigan, Grand Rapids, Michigan. And they work with reintegrating burn survivors and their families and their caregivers in aftercare, and helping to lead a productive and fulfilling life after a burn injury. So I volunteer with them. Once a year, I go and work at what's called the World Burn Congress, where people come from all over the world and get together and work with and meet and socialize with other burn survivors. And So that's a really important charity that I work with. I really love working with the people, the community. There's something about the burn community that is kind of like no other. I think when everybody gets involved in a charity, whatever it may be, it has to be for something or with something that drives you or personally affects you. So, and because of that, I've met some amazing, wonderful people that I consider my family, and I'll be involved with them as long as they exist. And the other charity that I work with is also centered around the burn community. I volunteer as a camp counselor for little kids at a burn camp, actually happens to be here in Washington, called Camp Yapsu, and they're pretty great, and they cater to children ages 5 to 17, and so I spend a week in the woods in a cabin working with little kids that are burn survivors, and it's a lot of fun, and it's exhausting, and I love it. So the reason why I sell on eBay and how the two correlate is that because I volunteer 2 full weeks out of the year, most people get 1 week or 2 weeks vacation if they're lucky in a real job, so to speak. eBay allows me and affords me the opportunity to pay my bills, but also to help fund what is my passion, which is working in the burn community. So it's not free for me to go and volunteer. I kind of pay my own way, as most of the volunteers do. But it also allows me to take the time off that I need to do this, at least twice a year, and anything else that might come up that I want to work with. So I like having control of my own time, my own hours, my own business, so that, I love selling on eBay, but I sell on eBay so that I can make enough money to pay my bills to do what feeds my soul, which is working with the burn community.
Awesome. Yeah, I think the flexibility of it is really important.
Absolutely. I think that's like my number one thing is the flexibility of this job. You're able to do anything at the drop of the hat if your family member needs you, or you just need to get out of town. You can just go for a couple days.
Come to Washington.
You're still making sales. Yeah, come to Washington and visit, and you're still making sales. It's just one of the best perks about eBay for sure. I love that part.
Yeah. And so you have like a couple of different charities that you stuff for.
Well, one's local, very local. It's for the local food bank. I work with a group of friends. We hire entertainers to come into town from all over the United States, and we have the local casino here that took a little while to get us in there, but they let us have a show there. And this year we did close to $7,000, which was awesome for a small town like this. That was pretty big for us.
Really big.
It's a private show, so they close out the doors, and so once you're in, like nobody else can get in and stuff. So it's really cool just to kind of have it like private small community. We're all raising money together. It's really a lot of fun.
And it's a drag show.
It's
so
a drag show.
Fun.
It's so much fun. These ladies that do the drag are amazing. They come from all over. Next year we will have some. We have one from Alaska this year, and next year we'll have one from all the way from Pennsylvania.
That's really cool.
Really cool. So I'm excited. But we've been doing it for 3 years, and last year that was like our big, besides this year was our biggest, but last year the food bank director like just bursted in tears on stage and made everybody else cry because, such good feelers, and this is what it's all about. And they're kind of the hub here in Sequim where they do, they take care of like diapers, dog food, cat food, women's products. So they really are like a hub for everyone. We don't really have anything else besides the Sequim food bank. We don't have like a Planned Parenthood or anything like that. So they really are the ones that kind of disperse the diapers and the formula and all that stuff. And that's what they buy with the money. They buy all the baby products.
Very cool.
It's really awesome. I am involved with a animal charity every year in Squamish Falls in Seattle. I didn't get to go this year, unfortunately, because my mother was sick. But my aunt has a farm and she works with the Seattle Police Department, and she's the one that they call when the animals are abused and they need to be nursed back to health. And she takes them in, and that's all she does. She just helps animals and then adopts them out when they're ready to go.
That's really awesome.
So we raise a bunch of money for her every year. I love it.
And you also take advantage of the eBay for Charity program where you can designate like a percentage of your sales.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about like how that works? And also we were talking earlier, and you kind of have like a cool way that you decide like which charities you're going to designate money to from a particular listing. We were talking about that was kind of a cool idea.
So when I first started donating to like the breast cancer awareness programs on there, you get to select how much you want of each sale to go to. I usually do anywhere between 15 to 20%, depending on the item. So if it's a breast cancer pin or anything that's pink, I will donate, especially through the month of October. I pick a breast cancer foundation on eBay, and I would do 15 to 20%. There's the Squim local Boys and Girls Club is another big thing for me. We don't have a lot of childcare around here. We are a very small town. We are a mile long, and so the Boys and Girls Club really needs the help. So I donate a certain percent of sales of my books and like games, things that are kid related, and that will go towards the local Boys and Girls Club. And then we walked by a little, it's not a restaurant, but like a coffee house, I guess you would describe it. It's where in the next town over, it's called the Boiler Room, and it helps like the homeless teens on the streets and anybody that's homeless really, or anyone that can't afford to eat. And they take donations. You don't have to pay if you don't want, but they just feed the local people, and that's what also I will do anything educational towards that as well, like books, textbooks. I take a certain percentage to donate to them. So I don't know how I came up with that, but I don't know, I'm really into education, and I know that it's really hard to go to school, and I know that school can make a difference. I just feel like I connected the two together. Oh yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, so I think for anyone who maybe has been thinking about volunteering or thinking about supporting like a local charity, and you're not already either designating one of your listings to send a percentage to them, there are some other steps that you can take. And one of them, I know, Vicki, you're talking about, like, you need to see, get your charities like signed up. So that, because they have to actually be signed up with eBay for Charity in order to be designated, because you want to be able to, like, when you go to do it, you like do a drop down list, I think, like that.
Actually, there is another way to do it. I did some extensive research on eBay, and in the policies, you can, if you have a copy of the 503
501c3.
Yeah, the
tax ID number.
tax ID number in the last photo of your listing and in your description that this goes to it. Because I also, the animal ranch that I talked about, I do give her 50% of all recyclable sales. Like, I sell recyclable bottle caps. Yes, they do sell, and I give her 50% from eBay, but I have to have her logo and a letter from the person that's in charge. So you can do it that way.
You can, and so, but what would really, I think, be helpful is if there is an organization that's local or one that you really care about, why don't you help them out? Like, kind of take some of those steps, help them go through the process, get them signed up, so that when, let's say, a random seller wants to designate it, maybe they don't have a charity that they care about, and they'll actually like look at a list or look at which ones are designated. They might pick your charity. And then once they're signed up, they'll also be able to put the word out to their supporters, like, hey, if you sell stuff on eBay, or if you want to buy stuff that supports my organization, it's just like a really good way to kind of passively support.
And I looked at the application. I looked at the application process, and it's really relatively easy.
Yeah, it's not that difficult. We had the two charities I was involved with in the past that were, my specific charities, we had signed up on eBay years and years and years ago.
Yeah.
So I have not looked into doing it again, but I know it was a pretty easy process. That you basically just need the tax ID number and the address and a contact person and that kind of stuff. It's really not that hard.
Yeah.
Which, if you already have that for your listing, then you have what you need to get them signed up. They don't need to sign themselves up. You can sign them up.
Yeah, and also the community group that I've talked about in a prior video that I'm co-running with Lori Wong from Reflections of Trinity. That group is really for any organizations that kind of want to learn more and kind of want more help with that process. They can join that group and get more information about it and kind of be part of the community about it. But I'll put links to all that in the description, and I'll have links to these ladies' stores and my store as well, so you can check out like what we do. And yeah, I think that's probably pretty good. We're gonna go sing some karaoke now because it's we're still on our little vacation.
Sunday night, and why not?
And why not?
Pretty much.
Nothing else to do and swim.
All right, thanks guys. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.